Let's do it. I'm gonna start with the woman, cause fuck women, am I right, boys? Oh, we're off to a good start. I'm gonna see if I can get through this level without blackface. Bye, baby. You can keep it on. It's like watching your retarded baby walk for the first time. A smart person would have stuck around and killed that thing through the wall, but you're not watching a smart person's channel. Okay. See it. I don't see it. Fuck. Yay. See, little by little, I'm fixing my retardation. It's all gonna be fine. So, hilariously, Splash Woman takes the most damage from the Mega Buster, which is why you should start with her, because she's a frail woman. you! Yeah! Does my adorable little sink want to hear stories? Whoa, no! The police have taken Dr. Light away! Dr. Light would never try to take over the world. This is definitely Wily's doing. Without a doubt. Don't worry. I'll clear Dr. Light's name. Paching! So, Mega Man games are at their best when the weaknesses actually make sense. And I think they were too concerned with wanting to make their retro games that they were like, no, fuck it, let's do NES Mega Man. That they just kind of said, fuck it, you know, just throw shit at the wall and see what works. So that's why we're here in Concrete Man's stage, because for whatever reason, he's weak to the Laser Trident. And I like Mega Man 9, but one of my complaints is that I think they took, I think a lot of people over-exaggerate how hard the NES Mega Man games are. And maybe I'm just saying that because I was a little lonely shut-in child who just played them and played them and played them, and I'd beat it and reset the NES, and then I'd play it again, and I'd beat it and I'd reset the NES. And that's how I would spend my days. And, Mega Man 9 just feels like it's throwing shit at you constantly. Like this right here. Even at their worst, the NES Mega Man games didn't have shit in every fucking hole. I'm never gonna learn that pattern. Fuck you. I'm gonna get hit by that ball on purpose. So this is where the game starts throwing the sneaky shit at you. You gotta dodge the Lego blocks. If you see the Lego block facing up, you fall through it. You gotta look for the backwards Lego blocks. Also, I don't know if this is just the Legacy Collection or what, but I don't know why it has to fucking save every couple seconds. I don't really think there's anything too important to be saving. You motherfucker. So believe it or not, when I was younger, I actually went full fucking hog into this game. And I owned the Wii version, because even back then, I was an idiot who was like, well, it wouldn't feel right if it wasn't on Nintendo. So, I bought the Wii version, because that was before I modded my Wii. Because I was like, oh, I want to play it with the NES controller, you know, holding the Wiimote on its side. And maybe this is just like trying to justify my purchase, or maybe I had always been a filter fag in denial, but I liked how crusty the Wii version looked. Not to mention that was before I got component cables for my Wii, so it looked really nice on the shitty old TV I used to have. So if you're one of the crazy psychos like me who got all the achievements, there's an achievement in this game for never missing a single shot with the Mega Buster. And as fucking horrifying as that sounds, basically all you have to do is get through Splash Woman's level to get her weapon, the Laser Trident. And you're pretty much golden for the rest of the game, because it's got a retarded amount of weapon energy to it. You can just shoot that shit all fucking day. And then the achievement explicitly says you can't miss with the Mega Buster. So once you get the Laser Trident, you can shoot that shit all over the place and nobody fucking cares. Just don't use the Mega Buster again. Hang on. And this was one of my major complaints with Mega Man 9. I like to call this game Mega Man 2-2, because that's all it fucking is. It reuses a lot of the original music from Mega Man 2, as well as, you know, as you see, it reuses the original Mets from Mega Man 1. But the one cool thing that 9 did do is every level has a stupid little gimmick like this. So you see these teleporter things show up in not every couple screens in this level, and they show up again in the Wily Castle like they usually do in Mega Man games. But one of the things I'm happy they fixed in 10 was that while the levels still had their gimmicks, it wasn't like completely fucking stupid like it is here. Like, I remember there's, when we get to Jewel Man's stage, there's a lot of fucking terrible, terrible swings. And basically every jump you make in this game, you're hanging by the edge of your ass. Which, again, like I said, I think the original 6 Mega Man games are grossly exaggerated as to how hard they were. If I could beat the original Mega Man when I was like 6, and that game doesn't have passwords, you have no fucking excuse. And you see how well I'm playing this at 27, so... So yes, we've all seen the hilarious V picture of these fucking assholes. Come and get it. Woo. Come and get it. Woo. Woo. Fucker. Pro Strats! Oh, Pro Strats! Oh. Oh, yeah, fuck that shit. I had Castlevania 3, and I never knew that Alucard was broken. I always got the ice chick and then just never stopped from there. And when it came to NES games, you know, when you're a bubble kid and your mom doesn't let you leave the house, I had one of those fucking moms that anytime I wanted to go to somebody's house, it was always like, okay, but I need to meet their parents, and I need to see the house, and I need to see the neighborhood, and I need to see, you know, what kind of grades do they get. I want to come spy on them at school, see what kind of a kid they are. So I didn't go out very much until high school when I got my license. So I spent a lot of fucking time at home playing video games. And now I spend a lot of time at home shitposting, so some things change, some things stay the same. The one game I could never beat as a kid that I couldn't beat until I was about 15 or 16 was fucking Bucky O'Hare. That game kicked my ass. I'll fucking fight you. I'll do it. 3 weeks. I'm gonna fuck you in the butt. Oh. Oops. Yeah, see that? Conqueror. Fuck you. Flip. I always liked these shield guys. I forget which game it was. I think it was 8. But there was one where they're just really stupidly over-designed. They got like satellites and shit on their head. Come on, I'm modeled after a 10-year-old. Come get it. Woo! Fucker. Yep! You know, looking back on that, I could have gotten killed if one of those UFOs was like slightly off by a hair. Hey, I got it. Oh god, I have to tell the story of how I fucking downloaded this game to begin with. So, we didn't even have internet at my mom's at the time. This came out at like 2007, 2008. I know it was right before I graduated, because, you know, I know 10 came out 2010. But, oh god, no, I think it actually came out after I graduated. Whatever, that doesn't fucking matter. Point is, I didn't have internet at my house. So, I had to take my Wii to my grandma's house. And somehow my grandma, of all fucking people, had, at the time, super speed internet. I don't know, it's just the stupid shit I had to put up with. I remember on my 360, I had blades for fucking years until they started packaging patches in with the games. Also, I just want to say, I fucking hate the boss music in this game. It's just like the same couple of beats that just repeat. It goes for about 5 seconds, and then repeats, and it sucks. I think my favorite boss fight theme has to be 3. I know this is gonna sound like a really stupid comparison, but something about Mega Man 3's boss fight music sounded really fucking anime. It was cool. It was like, what about Japanese animes, like Dragon Ball Sailor Moon? I'd beat a boss and then I'd go, Gabate, yo! Alright, let's go home. Yeah. Alright, now hold the fuck on. We're gonna do something right fucking now. We're getting the energy balancer. So if you've lived under a rock or had your head up your ass, the energy balancer, if you're low on energy for a weapon and you pick up a battery, it'll give you energy back for that weapon without having to switch to it, which is a lot more convenient than you would think when you're not thinking about it and you're just kind of plowing through shit in the Wily levels. Alright, Galaxy Man, Jewel Man. Yeah, speaking of Jewel Man, here we go. Yeah, and Blades was way fucking better because it didn't make my custom wallpapers look fucking stupid. That was my start of darkness, putting anime titties on the backgrounds of everything I own. My horrible, like, 250 pixel anime titties I'd save to a USB drive at my friend's house. And then bring it home and stretch it all the fuck, and that was before I got my HD TV, so I was using a goddamn... I've never talked about the shitty old TV I had at my mom's before. That thing was a piece of fucking garbage. My dad was a cheap ass, and he was like, you don't need good TV for video games. So what he did was, when I finally convinced him, hey, let me have the basement, because I already know I'm a fucking loser anyway, that he gave me the fucking shitty... It literally looked like the TV from the fucking Simpsons. It was one of those TVs where it was just a box covered in knobs. And I used that pretty much all the way up until I got my PS3. So I played the Wii U, or not the Wii U, obviously. I played the Wii and the 360 on that fucking thing. And let me tell you, you thought you had it fucking bad not playing Dead Rising on an HD TV? You try playing fucking Dead Rising on the goddamn knob television. Holy shit. Also a mini-boss right after that shit-ass jump. What the fuck? They mapped a jump to triangle? Was it like this on the PS3 version? But see, no, this is another example of Mega Man 9 just will not stop fucking throwing shit at you. It feels like everything in this game is programmed to be as much of a pain in the fucking ass as possible. I got that cannon shooting at me while I got little leaf motherfuckers flipping down at me. Have like 3 spiders that all jump at awkward angles, and Now, some of these problems I'd probably fix if I'd stop being a faggot and use something besides the Mega Buster, but fuck you. So obviously Mega Man 9 isn't that difficult if a mouth-breathing moron like me can beat it, but it's still intensely frustrating. Like every level so far has had a mini-boss, and that just feels so unnecessary. Wait, timeout, no. Splash Woman didn't. Controller ate my input, I swear. How many lives do I have? Ah, shit. But this part right here, for what fucking purpose? Did it need to be this ridiculous? Oh. Yeah. Alright, fine. We'll do it the bitch way. It's more fun to go in guns blazing. See, that kind of shit. Fucking achievements in ignorance. Once in a while, the world throws you one. Was it the black hole bomb? Nope. Fuck you, leave me alone. Okay, I take back everything I said about that other screen. This is the one. Oh god, how do you do this? I forgot. Oh! Ah! First try! Fuck you! American hero. No. No bitch. You never know when you're gonna need that screw. I'm not gonna waste the energy. I'm probably gonna die. Yeah, see? So one of the big complaints for sure about Mega Man 9 and 10 is that they took away the charge shot and the slide, which is another reason why this game is just fucking Mega Man. Motherfucker jumps with you, holy shit. Which is another reason why this game is just Mega Man 9, or Mega Man 2 2. And there's a canonical reason for it. There was a comic backstory where it's like, oh, you know, the plot of the game is about how, hey, Dr. Wily keeps fucking shit up a lot. We should make robots have an expiration date so he can't keep stealing them. And one of the things that Mega Man does to try to, like, sway over the people is he publicly has, like, his charge shot removed and some kind of, like, boost. Like, they finally explain it's like, oh, it was some boost adapter that let him slide. And, but, you know, that doesn't do anything. And people still, obviously Dr. Wily's still the villain, people still panic. I don't think the expiration date thing ever actually gets resolved. I don't remember. This cutscene here, though, this is really neat. Whoever the fourth robot master is, it's the ones that's disappeared from English. Whichever the fourth robot master you defeat is, it's the one that's gone from the group shot coming up. So, since I killed Jewel Man last, he's gonna see. You're not gonna see him here. Basically, is what I'm trying to say. Shut up. Uncle Rabbit needs alcohol to stream. Fuck it. Okay, I lied. It's a cutscene coming up, not right there. I've owned Legacy Collection 2 since it came out, but this is actually my first time putting it in. That's how I spend my hard-earned money. I will throw money at Mega Man things just to have them. Like I have both the American and the Japanese original Mega Man 1 through 6, and then I own the PAL versions too, for no good goddamn reason. I just wanted them. Up! Oh. Which, that reminds me, wasn't Legacy Collection 2 supposed to have all the DLC? So where's Proto Man? Do you have to, like, beat the game legit at least once to unlock him? I have never liked the disappearing blocks, and I will always use whatever way you can to avoid them. Motherfucker! Shit like that! That was another thing. In Mega Man 1 through 6, the disappearing blocks sucked and they were annoying, but they never pulled just straight up bullshit like that. And this isn't like a fucking casuals thing. This is like genuinely a dick move on Inti Create's part. And I think they realize that, because Mega Man 10 tones it way the fuck back. I remember when I beat Mega Man 9 for the first time, it was more like a holy shit, I beat it, compared to like, oh, that was fun. Which, granted, there's a time and a place for games like that, but... Ah! Ah! Oh, we're in the bad part of town. Okay. There was a phrase. You put enough monkeys in front of an NES, eventually they will beat Mega Man. It's almost like I can figure it out. Yay! What? Shit! Fuck you, my wallet. You know, purple is the one color I'm surprised didn't get into Smash. Ah, fuck. It feels like they gave you every Mega Man 2 color except for purple. Is it? Yep. It's okay, boys and girls. Uncle Rabbit will figure that out eventually. Ah. I didn't want that bolt anyway, fuck you. Energy tanks are for bitches. By the way, I'm a huge bitch. Around blacks, never relax. It would have all been for nothing. There were spikes there. Wait a minute. See, in 10, they learned their lesson, and all of the disappearing block sections are just this, where the blocks pop in more than one at a time. I will never understand how I beat Yomu Man in Unlimited. Like a bitch. I don't want to keep you guys here all fucking night. Don't forget, you're here forever. Uh. Whoa, slapstick. Pen shot. That one's for you. Oh, let me think. Plug man. Butt plug man is. So I remember very specifically as a kid in Gyroman's level, there were these platforms that would take you and rotate you around. And being the stupid dumbass kid I was, I would sit there and be like, it's like 3D. I don't know. These little winding parts just reminded me of that. I was just gonna say, don't forget, if you ever decide to play this for yourself, you will fly off in the direction he's facing. If you jump. This is how the cool kids do it? I'll never forget the day I figured that out because I thought I was a fucking wizard. I really love the Sniper Joe design. I think they might be my favorite, like, generic mook in a video game. When I was a kid and I used to buy all the Mega Man toys, well, who the fuck am I kidding? I still buy the Mega Man toys. I just remember, I used to be so upset there was never a Sniper Joe toy. Oh, this part. I don't know how I survived that. I don't think there's actually a platform there. I think I got lucky. Okay, so that part wasn't me being a stupid ass. That part is actually just really dickish. The rain pushes you back. Like, not the rain itself, but you get what I mean. There is foul play at work. God! Ugh. I feel bad for whatever poor bastard is listening to me in the background. Considering I just fucking screech. I meant to do that. So I'd like for this to be something besides my random screeching. So I'm gonna start filling the dead air with some fabled rabbit stories. So I've been gone from the streaming scene for a couple months because, believe it or not, I'm a med student and I work full-time. So I don't really have time for video games. Well, plenty of time to shitpost, fuck you. And just... I don't know where I was really going with that, but... I do better when I'm not just sitting here and occasionally yelling. I'd give you some good-ass life advice. As someone who swore he'd never be in retail again and now he's back, don't. I mean, I can understand I've got bills to pay and a family to take care of, but sometimes I wonder if I really need to pay those bills that bad. Because let me tell you something about retail. It is soul-crushing. And I'm not one of those fucking, yeah, pay me more than minimum wage people, because I make like $15 an hour anyway. But just, the kind of shit people expect you to do, and just for nothing. Like, anytime you see I'm not saying that every retail store employee that acts like a total cunt to you is justified, but I am saying that at least a fair portion of them are. I'm not going to say where, because I know motherfuckers like to follow people and ruin their lives, but I do work at a very large retail chain store for groceries, which anybody with more than 2 brain cells to rub together can probably figure that one out. Hang on, I'm grabbing a pillow. But you know, I don't want to be like one of those fedora tipping neckbeards who's like, I'm so much smarter than everyone else. But I have a deep and genuine concern for how stupid the average person is. And I don't look at everybody with like this judgmental kind of mindset. Cause, you know, like, you see, I don't look at somebody in like sweatpants and a hoodie and think, God, what a motherfucker. Because I'm wearing sweatpants and a hoodie right now because it's fucking comfy. And you know what? I worked in an office for 5 years. So I can understand if it's a goddamn Sunday morning and I just want to get my grocery shopping done. I don't give a shit what I look like. because I had to wear a suit most of the time anyway. So I'm not gonna I'm not gonna say like, oh, that guy's a faggot because he's wearing fucking sweatpants. But what I will say is that I don't give a shit what Tumblr says. Fucking 99% of the time, anybody who comes up to you in a dirty ass wife beater and fucking sweatpants full of holes is not gonna be a good experience. We have this guy who comes into our store just about every day of the week, and I call him the Pussy Destroyer, because if you just look at him, you have to wonder where the education system and his family failed him. Like, it just kind of gets progressively worse every time he comes in. Like, it used to just be, you know, well, he's still playing Pokemon Go, and it's like, whatever, I can understand that. I still play fucking Fire Emblem Heroes. But then you just kind of start to notice, like, okay, he's got a power pack, or whatever those things are, strapped to his wrist, that his phone is connected to. So, one, if that thing gives off any kind of heat, you know he's not feeling very good. And two, he plays enough fucking Pokemon Go that he needs to be strapped to a power bank. And then he comes in again, and you realize he's got fucking 2 power banks. 1 on each wrist. So that means he's playing enough Pokemon Go that he's gonna wear 2 power banks. And here in my part of the flyover area, it's wintertime, and he's got this big, frilly pink coat. And I mean, it looks like some Cruella de Vil bullshit. And other people have started to notice. And it's just kind of like, what? And I mean, he looks exactly like the kind of Chris Chan motherfucker that you would think would do this kind of shit. The Rabbit Bullying Hour. But fuck you, some people just deserve it. Oh, Jesus. And that's just the shitty part about retail. You get the regulars, and I fucking hate the regulars. And I hate being the regular. I had to stop going to Taco Bell because I would... Like every Friday after class, I'd go to Taco Bell because I'd only have an hour between my classes and work. And it's like, well, I'm not going home for an hour just to eat, and Taco Bell's on the way, and fuck you, I want some 4th meal. And it's not even for like a, oh, I feel uncomfortable thing. It's just like a, oh, god damn it, when I walk in there and it's like, oh, hi, Rabbit, number 9? And it's like, no, fuck you, you don't know me. And I get that they're being friendly, and I'm not trying to, like, knock them for that. I'm knocking myself for going to fucking Taco Bell so much they know my order. That's when you know it's time to stop. At least I'm a regular with some kind of clarity, though. I understood that it's like, oh shit, I'm a regular, I need to go. It's not like some of these people who... they're real assholes about it. Like, I get this fucking guy who's like, hey man, I come here all the time. You wanna put another handful of ground beef on my order? And it's like, no, I'm not doing that for you. And it's like, come on, man. I spend money in this store all the time. And it's like, no. Oh, rush. I hope you got enough gas. Yeah! And now that my horrible, nasally, someone kicked Matthew Broderick in the throat voice is coming at you through the shitty PlayStation headset I have, I can fucking tell you about the catfish. They can't say it like... The catfish. The catfish and the scrimps. And I always tell my friends, they somehow find a way to stick more S's into saying the word shrimps. And there's no way to actually type it. They just say scrimps. Scrimpsises. Hey yo, give me like 2 pounds of scrimpses. And you just kind of giggle every time. And you know, speaking of being a butcher and working fucking bullshit orders, so we're in the holidays, and you know, holiday tradition, a nice prime rib. So we have all these sweet, beautiful prime ribs marked up and set out in the case, and they look so beautiful, and we cut the bone off and then tie it back on so you can still get the marrow cooked into it, but then not have to cut it off when you're done, and it's real nice and convenient. And motherfuckers come in and they're like, oh, can you cut that into steaks for me? And it's like, you bitch. And then they get pissy you won't charge it for a steak, and it's like, well, it's not a steak, it's a prime rib and you had it cut. And I don't care what kind of fucking semantics you want to argue, this is how anything else works. You know, if you want me to cut a chuck roast into stew meat for you, I don't suddenly charge it as stew meat. I took a chuck roast and cut it, so you're still getting charged as cut. Bleh. Laying off the eggnog. You get what I'm trying to say when I'm not getting tongue-tied. And I hate... The one thing I did not miss at all about retail is I hate the motherfuckers who come in and think they're goddamn lawyers. Like, we have a partnership with Tyson Chicken, which I don't understand why anybody buys Tyson in the first place, because it feels like every other fucking week they have a recall on something. But, yeah, we have a partnership with Tyson Chicken that they'll send us a shitload of chicken if we sell it at their prices. So they'll give us a price and it'll come in already pre-marked, and, you know, we fudge a few numbers here and there, I'm not gonna lie. But Tyson is the one thing that's absolute. We can't fudge the numbers on those, because they'll come at us. They'll be like, hey motherfucker, we sent you, you know, 58 cases of boneless breasts and you only sold 57. Where's that other one? And it's like, really? You want to be that nitpicky over your fucking shitty, constantly poisoned chicken? But we had a sale the other day. We had a sale last week where all of the... What's the tasteful bullshit retail way they put it? The undesirable meat. So, like, bone-in thighs and bone-in drumsticks, you know. The undesirable was on sale for 99 cents a pound. And the sign said just Tyson Chicken. And you get this asshole, and not just one, multiple assholes throughout the day who come in and say, okay, well, I want this chicken, and the sign says Tyson Chicken. It doesn't specifically say what kind of chicken, and it's like, man, fuck you, don't be that guy. You see on the goddamn packages where it's all done up with all the stickers like, whoa, holy shit, 99 cents a pound, sale! And then you see the regular stuff that's just like, yeah, $3.99 a pound, whatever. You want these chicken breasts or not? And that's the thing that fucking aggravates me the most, because I absolutely hated that about retail. It was horrible when I was a manager at Kmart in the fucking ghetto, and it's horrible when I'm a fucking meat manager in a goddamn store in, like, suburbia. If something is off by, like, a femtometer, even slightly in another item's area, people will like break out their fucking electron microscopes and be like, the lower corner of this package is like just barely in the area. Can I get it for this price instead? And it's like, no, asshole! Prices is marked, fuck you! Jesus, I worked for the government and they didn't fuck us as hard as retail corporate does sometimes. I swear to God, because we're unionized, they will come up with the dumbest shit in order to fucking flag us for something. We case and cut our own bratwurst for the case. So there'll be like, you know, you take your big giant condom and you grind your meat and you throw the flavorings in and you fill the condom up and twist it off every couple inches to make a brat. And there was a morning that I opened the case and I made the most absolutely beautiful bratwurst you've ever seen in your life. I busted ass early. I came in and I worked off the clock because I'm a good boy. And I kicked ass making that case look better than anything it had ever been before. And some motherfucking corporate suit comes up, because they come in just about every week, probably because we're unionized. And he just sits there and he fucking plays his dumbass 20 questions with me. He's like, what's wrong with this picture? And I'm just sitting there, and I'm too fucking old for this shit. I don't care anymore. If I was a spineless teenager and you would come in and pull that fucking shit, I'd probably be shitting my pants like, I don't know, sir. I'll fix it right away. What's wrong? And I'm a grown-ass man. I'm only gonna be here for a year or two until I graduate from, you know, college. Knock on wood, please, God. But I'm only gonna be there for a year or two in theory. So I'm just sitting there like, what? What's wrong? Jesus, don't sit here and fucking yank my dick all day. And I shit you not, the problem was that I didn't have the brats upturned to where they look like smiles. And if you want to talk about the most bullshit pulling things out of your ass in order to find a problem, it's fucking saying that your goddamn brats are not upturned to be like a smile. I want to know what asshole, like, sat there coming up with that. I want to see him. I bet he's got a smug-ass fucking grin like that dickweed that's the poster boy for net neutrality. A Jeepa Deepa Deep Beep or whatever his name is. Fuck it. I can't believe Christmas is next week, to be honest. You know, they say time flies when you get older and you don't really think about it. And maybe it's just because, yeah, I work full-time and I'm a student full-time. Because, you know, they tell you to get a STEM degree because, you know, STEM is reliable, so they say. And it's kind of assumed you know the workload going in. And like let me just say, I hate people who are lazy and refuse to move out and the neat life and all that. But if you have any kind of ability to mooch, I'm gonna call it mooching anyway, because fuck you. If you have any kind of ability to mooch, do it. Sign up for every fucking scholarship you can. Be that asshole who takes any advantage he can. Because trust me, you don't want to live your life like me. I'm fucking miserable. I don't sleep. I live off of like 3 pots of coffee a day. Ooh, almost jumped over all of them. But no, believe it or not, despite my complete lack of stage presence and my total inability to compose my thoughts in dead space, or dead air, or whatever you want to call it, I'm a med student. And there was a thread on V the other day that really tickled me, because somebody was talking about Phoenix Wright, and how Phoenix Wright's backstory of, well, he wanted to become a lawyer, because once upon a time, you know, he got accused of... it's been so long since I played the Phoenix Wright games, but basically, in elementary school, Phoenix got accused of stealing something. So there was a whole class, like, court and all that, and Phoenix got completely raked over the coals. And the kid that was supposedly stolen from, who ended up being Edgeworth, because as you know in anime, everyone knows each other at every point in their life. And, you know, Phoenix just thought it was so cool that, oh wow, this whole court system thing is really neat. I want to be a lawyer someday too. And somebody was like, that's the stupidest fucking thing I've ever seen. Why would that ever be a thing? And not to sound like a total raving jackass, but I could tell... Wow, it sucked him up? Really? But not to sound like a total, complete jackass. But the reason I'm a med student, and I'd imagine there's quite a few people like me, but I just remember, you know, I was a kid, I liked watching educational stuff, I was always really into science. My grandma took me to Science Central probably once a month. And I would just go there and just fart around with all the stuff. And I spent the longest time in the human body section because I thought that was so cool. And I remember one year for Christmas, my mom had gotten me all of the VHS tapes and books for the Magic School Bus that had anything to do with the human body. And I can remember watching that shit so much she hid the tape. And I just thought it was so absolutely fucking cool. That was the first time I'd ever seen anything like it. And I was just like, from that point on I was hooked. And it wasn't until TV tropes became a thing that they were like, yeah, no, it's a Fantastic Voyage plot. But like, I can just remember anytime a cartoon came on that even hinted at something like that, I would just come running into the room like some crazy asshole. And the funniest part is that I have long since used TV tropes to track down and watch all of the episodes of this kind of shit for reasons I don't fully understand. And, I don't know, it's just fun to like look at it from a medical eye and be like, oh, that looks like shit, that looks stupid, I hate this. Like, one of the things that pisses me off is, I had a game on the Super Nintendo when I was a kid called like okay, it wasn't mine, it was my sister's. Fuck you, you know how it goes. We had some game called Radical Rex. And there was a level where you get eaten by a giant T-Rex. And when video games do that shit, where just random bones jutting out are platforms, it pisses me off. Like, my raging autism cannot handle it. And I guess that's the kind of shit I mean when I say I like to look at that stuff and compare it. Like, I remember I was really annoyed by that when I played Bowser's Inside Story. I was like, what the fuck is this Willy Wonka bullshit? Now, granted, the Mario series is primarily family friendly, fuck you, it just is. And, obviously you're not gonna have photorealistic guts. But it was still just something like so obnoxious to me. Now granted, you can have something cutesy and take it too far, like Rayman Origins, holy shit, that's almost nightmare inducing. But, I have to articulate my thoughts here. I will say this though, as horrifying as Vorfags are, and I hate getting lumped in with like people who talk about Vor, I will never understand it. It's like a lot of other creepy ass fetishes. It's just so weird. And like there's a difference between, well, you just don't understand it, and fuck you, that's really messed up. And oh shit, I forgot about that. But I will say this, nobody archives that shit better than them. So if there's something that I can't, you know, look down my usual internet back alleys and acquire totally, purposely, legally, you can bet your ass some dude with a fucking Rainbow Wolf avatar on YouTube will have this shit locked down. And usually, my goal is to be a cardiothoracic surgeon. So usually my go-to, like, ranking is how they handle the bloodstream and shit like that. And I will sing praises for Xenoblade until the end of time. But one of the things that absolutely infuriated me was the point in the game where you go inside the Bionis for real, and blood cells are just floating all over the place, like they don't give a fuck. And that just totally aggravated me. Like I said, you can take it too far, or you can take it just far enough, and I don't think anybody has ever really hit the right niche. I say that, and 5 minutes from now I'm probably going to say, oh, by the way, what was really awesome, but there was just so many things Xenoblade did that I thought was really amazing, and then you get to this, and it's just giant meat planet with blood cells floating everywhere, and it's just aggravating. But at the same time, it was also a Titan, so I did not say anything at the fucking ridiculous, like, 84 chambered heart, whatever, fuck it, keep it, man. I'm not even gonna chance it. So, random fun fact. During the design phase for Mega Man 9, Hornet Man was originally Hornet Woman, and Splash Woman was originally Hornet Man. But at one point they just said, no, fuck it, switch it. And the artwork for Hornet Woman and Splash Man actually is on the Mega Man Legacy Collection, which I'm playing if you haven't figured that out by now. And, you know, Hornet Woman has exactly what you would want in a bee-themed boss. It's got a big, fat, thorax ass, and it's great. And Splash Man looks really cool. He kind of looks like a, oh, I know someone will probably roll their eyes at me. He kind of looks like a big bee ass. Hornet Chaser, more like fucking Chubby Chaser. Let's go get some big bee ass. Oh man, fuck whatever I was saying. Jesus Christ. Oh, I wish. Oh, whoop, shit. Hold on. Normally I don't like to pause like this, but the wife is calling. Okay. Here's the cutscene I was talking about earlier. This is the memory circuit board.
We can play back his memory to see why he went crazy.
I'll put it up on the screen. Wiggle, wiggle. See? There you go. Hornet Man and Big B ass is gone. Oh. You know, I was spurging out about the Mega Man cartoon earlier. That show was so fucking good. And not even because how much I love Mega Man. That was like a legitimately good cartoon. A lot of people shit on it for not being, you know, accurate to the cartoons. And those people are fucking morons and you ignore them. There was originally, once upon a time, the Mega Man cartoon was going to be the doughy, cutesy Mega Man we all know and love. But it completely bombed with the test audience. Because, you know, back in the day, you slap that shit on a VHS, you kidnap some kids, you know, for good time. For different reasons than usual. And you take the kids in your giant van to your quiet room and you show them cartoons. And just, they were not having it. American children did not like cute Mega Man. And the Street Fighter cartoon is the same thing. Capcom, believe it or not, was involved in both the Mega Man cartoon and the Street Fighter cartoon. So there's a lot of legit shit that went into them. And I think Mega Man gets an unfair rap because the Street Fighter cartoon did go off the rails a hell of a lot more than the Mega Man cartoon did. But I will still fight anyone who says the Mega Man cartoon wasn't good. And eventually, they did design the buff Mega Man that we all know. You know, fucking Rabbit ADHD, yes. Street Fighter 2-5 was the popular one. I was talking about that with my boss at work the other day. He's a big Street Fighter guy. I'm just gonna say, I fucking love my Switch, because I'll take my Switch to work, and him and I'll play, like, Waku Waku, or, what the fuck is that, like, one that's full of, 1950s sci-fi tropes. I think it's called Galaxy Fight. But those goddamn stupid-ass slide-out controllers, you have two giant men hunched over a tiny screen with our fucking gorilla hands holding these Joy-Cons, and it's just the best. But I cracked a joke to him. I was like, yeah, because he talked about how when he was my age, he had Street Fighter 2 on the SNES, and, you know, I had Street Fighter 2 on the SNES when I was like 10, and I was talking to him, I was like, yeah, I don't know which one I had. I had the one with Cammy. I think that was Super Street Fighter Double Advance Double Super Omega. It was more off the cuff, but you get what I'm saying. Okay, we're gonna go find Dr. Wowie. And now watch as they blatantly fucking reuse the Mega Man 2 look, castle, and music. Oh, it's fucking shameless. They didn't give a shit. All they changed was that giant bone fence. So believe it or not, I actually like the, I like the multiple fortresses more than I do the one fortress. And I'll tell you why. Because when you're a kid and you're playing your Nintendo and you get like one game every couple of months, you want more fucking Mega Man. You don't want Mega Man to be over yet. You want Mega Man to keep going. So when you get Mega Man 4, 5, and 6, and holy fucking Christ, there is a second Wily Fortress. You shit your pants. I think my favorite Mega Man when I was a kid was 6, because I liked playing with the Super Armors. And I really hope those make a comeback in Mega Man 11. Which, let's fucking talk about Mega Man 11. Man, I want to fucking go to Capcom and buy whatever dude fucking finally pushed that through a beer. You could not have picked a better time to just shit all over the gaping wound Mighty Number 9 left behind. Because I got slighted by Mighty Number 9. I gave $200 to that shit. And I got completely fucked. I didn't get my package. I didn't get my name in the credits. I didn't get fucking anything. I didn't even get my game at launch. I had to fucking get an extra code from my friend. I had a friend who gave less than I did, and he somehow ended up with 2 codes, and that's horseshit. I was one of the people who got his package like fucking like half a year late, and by that point I just didn't give a shit anymore. I threw that shit out. So for the longest time, I did not know how to get that life, and I'll tell you now, it's been like fucking 9, almost 10 years since this game came out. Jump. Oh, well, you jump at the right, or you jump off a rush coil, and then you set off this thing, and it shoots you higher. So this is what I was talking about earlier with the energy balancer. We're gonna need some juice in our tank, so let's stop and fuck around for a second. But no, Mega Man 11, I am willing to give it the benefit of the doubt, because I know a lot of games will just slap work in progress on it and call it a day. And with Mega Man 11, even if it does end up being the final product, I don't care what anybody says. I still think Brickman, or whatever his level is supposed to be, I still think it looks fine. Like, if they released Mega Man 11 now, which I don't want them to, because it's probably not even close to done. Oh, by the way, you can do that. They never hint at it. They never even remotely fucking try to tell you can do that. But yeah, you can fucking freeze lava with concrete. Fuck off. And this is why you sit here and farm energy. And they fucking knew, and that's why they put the Telerobos there. Okay, Grumpy Rabbit over. I don't mind the leap to 3D, because I liked Powered Up. It had its problems, but I still liked it, and I've always wanted a 3D Mega Man like that since. So I'm happy that Mega Man 11 has finally jumped to 3D, and I'm hoping that because it's in 3D, you can have... I can finally get the Powered Up 2 I've always wanted. I want playable Robot Masters, I want costumes. I know we're gonna get costumes based on that fucking shit-ass whatever the hell show being made by the Ben 10 guy, where... Oh god, I don't even want to get into that. Fucking... I don't know who okayed that shit, but I hope he was dragged out back and beaten with a golf club. I want to meet the man who okayed Aki Light and then kick him in the dick. Nope, fuck, damn it! But I've already accepted we're gonna get a costume of that shit-ass Mega Man. But it would be cool if they gave you, like, other costumes of other Mega Men, or if, Like, what if they let you have helmetless Mega Man and not take the damage from it? Or what if they let you... Because, like, I was hurt that Mega Man Universe never came out. I wanted that game so fucking bad. For those of you who aren't complete psychopath Mega Man autists like me, Mega Man Universe was a game where I almost swear Inafune had to have stolen the idea for that to make Mighty Number 9. Basically, God, I forget the action figures, but there were these action figures that you could like break their parts off. It was a bunch of robot figures. I know because I used to have like all of them, but it came with like screws and shit like that. And you could like take the parts off of one and put it on another, and so on and so forth. And basically, I don't know what the limit was. The promo art wanted to imply that it would be like Mega Man 1 to 6. But basically, you could take Mega Man and you could like give him Heat Man's body and like Flash Man's legs and Metal Man's arms and just fuck you, make your own. And it just looked so cool. Like, it looked rough for sure. That was definitely a work in progress game if you've ever seen it. But I would have been totally alright with it. Oh god, Eggnog's coming back to bite. Oh, that thing fucking kills you? Fuck you! Alright. Let's do this again. But that one genuinely hurt me. I would have loved to see Mega Man Universe actually come out, but it's also very, very, very obvious. Anybody who looked at that shit, that game looked like absolute shit. I mean, people today like shitting on, oh, this looks like Unity garbage. Fucking Mega Man Universe looked like absolute goddamn trash before Unity even existed. I'm sure Unity did exist back then. I don't know. I don't know computers. It looked like fucking shit, but it was that kind of shit where you look at it and you're like, I'm a little bit proud of that shit. How many lives do I have? I've already fucked up. I'm killing myself. I fucked up! I'm killing myself! Quote, Rabbit, 2017. Now, I'm going to be cautiously optimistic. I know Mega Man 11 is probably not going to knock it out of the park. It's probably going to be just another 9 and 10. Retro enough to make everyone happy and new enough to make everyone happy. But I was just talking about in a V thread today that I am blown away how much of a gigantic middle finger that both Mega Man 11 and Mighty Gunvolt Burst are. Because Mighty Number 9 promised all that shit with the custom weapons and the custom body parts, and it just went fucking nowhere because budget, as they've explained 1,000 times. I mean, they've lied 1,000 times, but whatever. And then here comes fucking Mega Man 11 with, fuck you! The weapons change how you look now instead of just your color, because you got Mega Man and his big fucking jerk-off arm. I cannot wait to see the rest of the other 7 powers. Plus, whatever more. Who knows? Fuck it. Maybe the super armors are coming back. I don't know. Fuck you. Call this number. And then Mighty Gunvolt Burst comes along, and it's on... I know for sure it's on Switch. I don't know if it's anything else, but I bought that shit day one, and I was so goddamn happy with it. And, God, that game, I've never seen a bigger fuck you in video games before. Because for those of you who have absolutely no idea, or if you've just straight up ignored it because it's Mighty Number 9 and that's, like, rolls like poison off the tongue. Essentially, the plot of Mighty Gunvolt Burst is that after the events of Mighty Number 9, Dr. Jufro, or whatever his name was, wanted to make sure that Beck would always be ready to save the day. So he made a VR simulation of the events of Mighty Number 9. So in other words, they made a retro version of Mighty Number 9 because fuck you. And, you fight the exact same bosses, you go to the exact same levels, you have the exact same fortress levels, you have the exact same little brown girl final boss, and then they do add the face-off against the evil Beck and the evil Gunvolt, whichever one you didn't choose to play as, but just good goddamn lord. You got it. Basically what I'm saying is for $10 you get an actual competent version of what Mighty Number 9 should have been. And some people might be put off by the retro aesthetic. I think it looks a hell of a lot better than Mighty Gunvolt did. Because Mighty Gunvolt was some hot fucking garbage. And oh, it is on 3DS? Okay. Good. I'm not kidding when I say play that. It's totally fucking worth it. It is the best way to play Mighty Number 9 without wanting to, like, drink yourself to death. Nope. Tried to be cool. This part annoys me. Because once in a while, I like to play like naked Mega Man runs, where I don't use anything, in case you haven't figured it out from my refusal to use anything but the Mega Buster. And that part exists for no reason other than, fuck you, use Rush Jet. Stop being a dickhead, you're not cool, just use Rush Jet. But it wasn't enough that Burst had to shit all over Mighty Number 9. The fucking... oh, god damn it, fuck you. The absolute knockout punch came from the fact that later on they released DLC that not only did they give you Ekiro for the people who played as her in Mighty Gunvolt, which my heart bleeds for you because that game sucked. Not only did they give you Ekiro for free, but later they released Call from Mighty Number 9 and Jewel from Azure Striker Gunvolt. And I only played Gunvolt 1. I have the Gunvolt collection on Switch, but I've actually never played it. I just bought it because I like Gunvolt. I just never sat down and played it, but I've got it. I beat the shit out of Gunvolt 1 on the 3DS before the patches came out, so I got to play that shitstorm with all of the Zemzur bullshit before they patched that shit out. But, No, Burst added Playable Jewel, which is the adorable butterfly girl, not Histoire. But, there's like this adorable little butterfly girl in Gunvolt, and it added Call. But it wasn't enough that they added Call. You can play as any of the other Calls if you buy her DLC. So if you voted for the pigtailed Call, or like the one that kind of looks a little bit like Panty from Panty and Stocking, you can play as him. And just, obviously, well, you know what, I don't want to say obviously. It might not have been easier to do, considering it was NES aesthetic. But it's the fact that they did it. And just, good lord. It's not enough to kick a man when he's down. You gotta, like, pee on him, too. What I'm saying is go play Mighty Gunvolt. That's my other pet peeve with this game. Other Mega Man games, your powers made sense. So, like, what I just did now, with the laser trident blowing up the block. How the fuck would I know that? Like, in Mega Man 1, blowing up the, like, picking up the blocks with the super arm, that makes fucking sense. Maybe not so much, you know, hitting him with the Thunder Beam, but at least you had the excuse with the super arm. What's the fucking excuse with the laser trident? You just know? You know because you played Mega Man 1? What if you didn't play Mega Man 1? Okay. So the general rule of thumb is, if it doesn't have the little computer chip looking thing sticking on it, you're golden. And I have actually been fucking stupid enough to jump into these spikes. And I believe the way you're supposed to figure that one out is that the devil eyes fly out over the spots where there's a hole. Hey, it's this fucking thing. Who wanted this back? The thing about getting older is I can't just look at this as, why did they reuse this? It's more along the lines of like, man, somebody fucking was real proud of this one. It's kind of like when there was a bad video game. Nobody purposely tries to make a video game bad on purpose. What happens is you have incompetent morons who think they're better than they are, or they don't have a good budget, or they got rushed, or some asshole on the creative team pushed for something and now they've got to put it in. So in other words, Overwatch. But like going back to Mighty Number 9. Mighty Number 9 was made by incompetent fools. And it's very clear, conman jokes aside, it is very clear that Inafune was clearly somewhat passionate about this. But it was also a combination of him overshooting his own ability, overshooting his own... It's kind of like they said in the interview about Mega Man 11. They didn't want to touch it because Inafune had basically shit all over the Mega Man name. And we can debate all day about whether that was like Japanese honorable or whatever, or we can move on, but... I genuinely believe in my heart of hearts that Inafune thought he was doing something good. In the same way that when your cat brings you a dead bird, they think you're gonna like it. Speaking of which, where the fuck is Red Ash? Is that just dead? Because I know Inafune has already, like, completely just hidden himself from the public eye. Oh god, fuck this boss. I'm gonna shoot that bitch in their exhaust pipe. Why would anything good ever happen? Oh god, this fucking part. I think those spikes actually fucking kill you too, but I'm not gonna check. And I'm really fucking myself into a corner here because I didn't stop and buy E-tanks before coming here. Everybody likes bees. Eat some bees. Oh, it's 1 a.m. and I'm still awake. This is the power of 15% eggnog. Oh god! Oh, I completely forgot about this. Oh god. Yep. And see, look at this sprawling mess of a background and, like, textures for the blocks. Oh god, I said textures for you know what I mean. They tried really hard to make this feel like the retro games. And that's what I appreciate more about Mega Man 10, because Mega Man 10 actually gives a shit about having its own identity while still being a retro game. Like, if I showed you a screenshot of this, right here, this room, you'd be like, I don't know what fucking Mega Man game that is. But if I showed you a screenshot from Mega Man 10, you'd be like, no, that's definitely 10. It's kind of like the argument about indie games where indie developers think that every fucking game ever made was King's Quest. And they don't understand or realize or care that there were more games besides that, and that a lot of games, the LucasArts games especially, were absolutely gorgeous and beautiful. And the reason I say you could definitely tell Mega Man 10 from a glance is that game is fucking hot. You fucker. They knew. Like, here in Mega Man 9, you have the same brick pasted, the same square pasted. Goddamn, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 25 right there at the top. You don't have that. You have like actually designed levels that, yeah, they'll copy and paste a few parts where they need to, but for the same point, it's like it's kind of like a really, really beautiful NES game that somebody spent a lot of time on. And it wasn't just like, fuck it, NES game. I almost feel like that crevice was put there just to be like, fuck you, faggot, you can't slide. One thing I will say about Sniper Joes, when they shoot their gun like that, they look like weird little sausage people. So when I was a kid and I would naturally draw them, if you look at him right there, the way he stands with his gun, I thought his entire body was his head. And it wasn't until I saw like the instruction manual and I saw what the Sniper Joes are supposed to look like and how they're basically just Mega Man. And I thought that was a big eye with a dumbass bucktooth mouth, basically. You thought the Yellow Devil was bad. How about 2 Yellow Devils? Kill me. Oh shit, what was the weakness? I think it was Booty Bomb. I do that every fucking time with the Yellow Devils. I always panic and jump when I shouldn't. And the answer is no, you do not want to see me fight this fucking thing all night. I'm telling you, man, achievements in ignorance. He could not have an any more perfectly clear-cut pattern, and I still panic and jump. Like that. And that. Oh no. Ugh. think this is where Uncle Rabbit's gonna call it quits for now. It's hitting me hard. I will come back to finish this later. Good night, everybody.